Welcome to Prana Fictitious Stories. Before we begin today's story, we would like to make a small request. Please subscribe to our new channel and support us. Your support will inspire us to bring even more original and unique stories. So without further delay, let's start today's story. The elevator was dead silent. Arav Malhotra stood there, gripping his file so tight you'd think it might crumble in his hands. His eyes fixed on those shiny, metallic elevator doors like they were a portal to some kind of freedom. And in that file, a resignation letter. Yep, the letter. 7 years at Sinkhania Enterprises, and he was ready to throw in the towel. Not because he wasn't good at his job, he was damn good, but because sometimes a dream can cut deeper than a knife. You see, Arav had a secret, a big one. His boss, Karan Sinkhania, wasn't just his mentor, wasn't just the guy who'd shaped his career. No. Karan was the man Arav had been hopelessly in love with for, years? And guess what? Karan had no clue. Fast forward. Arav pushes open the office door. Everything's pristine, perfect, just like Karan. But Arav, he was a mess inside, his heart pounding like it was trying to escape his chest. And there was Karan sitting at his desk, completely in the zone. Pen in hand, eyes glued to his laptop. The guy looked like he had the entire world figured out. Without even glancing up, Karan says, "Arav, is the presentation ready?" And Arav, he's standing there, sweating bullets. "Sir, it's ready, but..." He hesitates, clutching that file like it's a lifeline. "I need to talk about something important." That gets Karan's attention. He stops writing, finally looks up. "Go on." Deep breath, Arav. "Just say it." "I want to resign." Karan's pen freezes midair, and for a split second, just a split second, something flashes in his eyes. Shock? Hurt? Arav couldn't tell. But just like that, Karan's mask of composure was back. "This is sudden," Karan says, his voice as smooth as ever. "You're doing well here. Is there a problem?" Arav swallows hard. "It's not about the work, sir. I've just made my decision." Karan stares at him, not just at him, through him, like he's trying to read the words Arav isn't saying. Finally, Karan nods. "All right. If that's your decision, I won't stop you." And that's it. No argument. No please stay. Just nothing. But in Karan's eyes, in those sharp black eyes, there was something. Was it anger? Sadness? Arav couldn't be sure, and honestly, he didn't want to figure it out. When Arav stepped out of the office, the elevator doors closing behind him, he felt empty, like he'd left a part of himself back there with Karan. He kept telling himself it was the right choice. It's better this way, he thought. But was it? Really? Now, 2 days later, brace yourself, because this is where it gets interesting. Arav's sitting in this quiet little cafe, minding his own business, when, bam! Raghav Raichand walks in. Yeah, that Raghav. Business tycoon, rule breaker, and Karan Sinkhania's biggest rival. This guy, he's all confidence, swagger in his walk, a smirk on his lips, and this aura that screams danger. He pulls up a chair, sits right across from Arav like he owns the place. "So," Raghav starts, that smirk never leaving his face. "I heard you left Sinkhania." Arav blinks. Yeah?" Raghav leans in, his voice low but commanding. "The moment I heard, I knew I had to meet you. Honestly, didn't expect you to agree so quickly." Now, Arav's trying to play it cool, but inside, full-on panic mode. He'd heard stories about Raghav, the charm, the unpredictability, the way he could make or break anyone with just a few words. Raghav doesn't miss a beat. "Letting talent like yours go to waste? Not my style. So here's the deal. Come work for me." Arav just stares at him. Like, what? Raghav's offer was tempting, sure, but his mind kept circling back to Karan, to the moments they'd shared, the way Karan's voice could both calm and shatter him. "I need time," Arav finally says. Raghav grins, leaning back in his chair like he's already won. "Take all the time you need, but remember, when I make decisions, I never regret them." That night, Arav couldn't sleep. His mind was a mess. On one hand, there was Raghav, exciting, unpredictable, offering him a fresh start. On the other, Karan, the man who didn't even try to stop him from leaving, but whose absence was already killing Arav inside. Was this really the end? Or was it the start of something he couldn't even begin to understand? This is where things get really interesting. Arav, our guy with all that heartbreak, decides to work for Raghav Raichand. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Bold move, right? But hey, it was a fresh start, a clean slate, or at least that's what Arav told himself. And there's always a but. Somewhere deep in his heart, Karan Sinkhania's shadow lingered. Those memories, oh, they were the worst kind, the kind that made you smile 1 second and rip your heart out the next. Now, Raghav, he was a different breed altogether. The man treated life like a never-ending chess game, every move calculated, every piece in its place. He didn't just lead his team, he pushed them. Hard. So Arav walks into Raghav's office, all professional and polished. He's trying to stay focused, you know? But no matter how hard he tries, bam! Karen's face pops into his mind like an uninvited guest. Those little conversations, the moments they'd shared, they played on repeat over and over. Then comes the twist. Raghav hands him this massive project. I'm talking dream assignment kind of massive. And what does Raghav say? This project is in your hands, Arav. I want nothing short of perfection. Pressure. Much? Arav, though, dives headfirst into it. Work becomes his escape, his way of shutting out the noise in his head. But, you guessed it, Karen's memories? Yeah, they weren't going anywhere. It was like Karen had planted himself in Arav's brain, rent-free. Now let's flip the script for a second. Karan, Mr. Composed, Mr. In Control, was not doing okay. Arav's absence, it was eating him alive. He didn't understand it, this weird, hollow feeling in his chest. What's wrong with me? Karan would mutter to himself, pacing his office like a caged tiger. The guy was unraveling, plain and simple. Every time Arav had been near him, it was like the world just made sense. And now, without him, nothing felt right. And here's the kicker. Karan couldn't bring himself to say it out loud. Not even to himself. Coward, right? Meanwhile, Arav's over here working himself to the bone, trying to move on. But you know what's crazy? He starts feeling like someone's watching him. You know that prickly feeling you get on the back of your neck? Yeah, that. Arav brushes it off. It's just my imagination, he thinks. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. It was Karan. Yep, Karan freaking Singhania, lurking in the shadows, his eyes practically glued to Arav. Now let's talk about Raghav for a sec. Because this guy, he's something else. Confident, bold, sharp as a blade. But here's the thing. He wasn't treating Arav like just another employee. There was something different. Something extra. Arav, though? Clueless. The poor guy was so buried in his work, he didn't even notice Raghav's little quirks. And Karan? Oh, he was spiraling, big time. He kept asking himself, should I do it? Should I just tell him, bring him back? But every time doubt crept in, fear, pride, call it what you want, it was holding him back. So here we are, my friend, a perfect storm of emotions brewing. Arav caught between two powerful forces, Karan fighting a battle within himself. And Raghav? Well, he's just waiting for his moment to strike. Now, here's the real question. Where's this all going to go? Is it the start of something beautiful, or is heartbreak just around the corner? Stay tuned, my friend. There's so much more to come. Until next time, take care, all right?